One goal, which I know is a common denominator with everyone every year, is meeting their desired fitness goals and weight loss goals. And I can tell you from personal experience that working out every day and running on the treadmill for hours, that you cannot outwork a bad diet. When you start to focus your concentration on your nutrition and eating foods with high nutritional value, not only will you see a drastic change in your body, but you will also have an elevated mental health as well. So I'm going to share with you 5 foods to avoid to get you to your weight loss goals. Let's get into it. Number one is eating fake cheese. I know it sounds crazy because I even couldn't believe it. But did you know there's actually wood pulp in the cheese that you're eating? Especially shredded cheese and Parmesan cheese. It's actually called cellulose, the actual name of it, but it's in the cheese as an anti-clumping agent so the cheese doesn't stick together. So they actually put this wood pulp in Parmesan cheese and shredded cheese up to amounts which we don't even know, because one company a couple years ago just got sued for the excessive amount of wood pulp that was in their Parmesan cheese. The topic of cheese, since we're on it, American cheese is also really unhealthy. Did you know that American cheese is not even cheese? It actually says a cheese product because technically the FDA indicates that if the food doesn't have a certain percentage of cheese in it, it cannot even be called cheese. So instead of our blood being a consistency like water, it actually turns into a consistency like oil when we eat substances like cheese. What that does, it makes it hard for our heart to work. And in turn, when you produce a high levels of cholesterol levels, it turns into hypercholesterolemia, chronic disease. So it increases the inflammation in your body, clogging your arteries, and making you at risk for different types of chronic diseases. Letting go of foods that have no nutritional value in it, like cheese, and having to practice law of detachment and not being addicted to these types of foods that we were conditioned to eat from when we were very small. Once we have discipline, and out of 1 year, just tell yourself a couple months, I'm not going to eat these certain foods, you will drastically get to your desired weight loss goals. Number two is coffee creamers. Coffee creamers contain a bunch of artificial ingredients, artificial flavors, sweeteners, corn syrup, also very high refined sugars. And it also contains hydrogenated oil, which is really bad. Hydrogenated oil is basically hydrogen added to vegetable oil. So then at a room temperature, it creates a solid. Another name for that is called stearic acid, which is also known as saturated fatty acid, which is saturated fat, which you can see on the back of your nutrition labels. We want to stay away from these types of fats because it increases our bad LDL levels, which is our bad cholesterol levels, which is LDL stands for low density lipoprotein. And what happens is that this cholesterol moving in our bloodstream is the bad cholesterol, which clogs our arteries. And over time, it creates a chronic illness called hypercholesterolemia. So we want to stay away from those types of fats. So also, these liquid coffee creamers are packed with just empty calories. So to do the math, one of these liquid coffee creamer packets contain 30 calories. So if you are a coffee drinker, you probably are using either probably 2 packets of these liquid coffee creamers in your coffee every day. So if you drink 1 coffee every day for 5 to 7 days, that's an additional 300 to 420 calories. If you are a really big coffee drinker and you're drinking like 2 cups of coffee a day, and you're putting 2 packets in each of those 2 cups of coffee every day for 5 to 7 days, for 5 to 7 days, then you're drinking about 600 to 800 additional calories a week. So we want to just make sure we're choosing wisely the type of calories we want to consume. Instead of eating all those loaded empty calories, we can actually choose foods with more high nutritional value that's actually going to keep us fuller throughout the day. So let's let go of those coffee creamers too to get to our weight loss goals. Number 3 is processed meats. These processed meats include meat that has been smoked, canned, or salted. That includes hot dogs, lunch meat, deli meat, beef jerky, pepperoni, hot dogs, bacon, bologna sausage, canned meat, even red meat, because all these conventional cows are pumped with antibiotics and a lot of different sodium and different artificial flavors. And also the same thing with chicken. And in 2015, the World Health Organization provided scientific research that classified processed meat as a cancerogen type of meat. In addition, sodium nitrate is a very powerful toxic chemical which is injected into the meat to preserve its shelf life for weeks, and what makes the color of meat red. Otherwise, the meat would be a gray color. Sodium nitrate belongs to a class of chemicals called nitrosamines, which is injected in test animals to cause cancer. And it was almost banned by the FDA, but it was stopped by food lobbyists. This chemical is detrimental in affecting and changing human DNA and increases the risk of stomach disease, colorectal cancer, and heart disease. Anything that causes cancer causes a toxic reaction to our body. So you want to try to stay away from that type of food. In addition to that, it also increases your blood pressure and your cholesterol levels. So if you're trying to lose weight, processed meat is definitely something you should let go of for a period of time that you want to get to your desired weight loss goals. Going back to the law of detachment, we want to try to stop getting addicted to these foods. And when we know certain information about how foods are negatively affecting our health, we want to make sure that we eat more empowered foods and have the discipline to try to eat more high nutritional value foods instead of foods that is declining our nutritional and physical and overall health. Number 4 is starch, specifically speaking white bread, white pasta, and white flour. These starches are highly resistant when digested, and they are very refined and manufactured stripped from all of their nutritional value. So when ingested, it becomes a glue-like substance in our body, which clogs up our arteries and our lymphatic system. What this also does, it spikes our blood sugar levels very high, and it's converted into fat very quickly in our body. Also, with this having a high glycemic level, we then, after the blood sugar spike, are feeling very hungry after. That's going to cause you to eat more food because you're not satisfied, and it causes an influx of inflammation and mucus in our body. And when that occurs in our body, we're making our body more susceptible of getting sick, illnesses, and in the long term getting more chronic illnesses. So instead of these type of highly refined starches, I would suggest an alternative starch like spelt bread and spelt flour. If you wanted to go those routes, that will be more highly beneficial. In another video, I'm going to be discussing alternatives type of foods for weight loss, so I'll definitely go more in detail in another video about different alternative foods. Number 5 is alcohol. Alcohol is full of calories and full of empty calories with no nutritional value. It's also going to make you feel really hungry, and that leads you to making bad food choices. Along with that, it causes inflammation in your body, which is going to slow down your metabolism and stop the fat burning in your body from occurring. You're also going to have a more bloated stomach and a bloated face because it causes a lot of water retention. And it also contains a substance called ethanol. And that is a toxic chemical substance that completely derails all of your energy on a spiritual level. You're not going to have any energy or any mental clarity to be able to accomplish your goals. So when you're drinking throughout the week, even if it's 1 or 2 times, trust me, it's going to set you off from your weight loss goals, not only physically, but also mentally and also your metabolism. So to be able to have the maximum amount of mental clarity, you want to just try to avoid alcohol altogether during the week and the weekend for a substantial amount of time so you can see those results. And that is probably what is hindering you the most of reaching your weight loss goals. You're not going to have that motivation to hit the gym or to complete all the rest of your goals on your to-do list. And it's going to make you feel more anxiety and more depressed. And that is actually scientifically researched, that it's going to have those adverse effects on you. Also going to hinder your intuition, and that's your spiritual connection with the divine, to helping you get ideas and use your imagination and get mental focus and clarity to what you want to accomplish in your life. And your intuition is what's guiding you through your life path in life. So you don't want anything to come between you and your life path and your intuition, because that's helping you lead you to your purpose. So on a spiritual level also, alcohol is said to have come from a word called akal, which means body eating spirit. And that is why alcohol drinks are called spirits and booze, and where it derived from. Alcohol is the fastest way to lower your vibration, and it has been used as a tool to keep humans' consciousness at a lower state for thousands of years. As you know, when you're drinking alcohol, all of a sudden you don't feel like yourself. You feel like an out of body type of feeling, and it's not normal. And that's what leads people to acting strange and also saying things they wouldn't have said if they weren't under the influence, and also making you feel very embarrassed the next day if you did say anything crazy. So try to avoid alcohol at all costs. Until next time, make sure you keep your vibration high, keep grounded, keep up with your daily routine, waking up early and getting to those goals. We are in May, so make sure that you're doing everything you can do now to not derail from your goals. Circle back to your resolutions and the things that you wanted to get done in the beginning of the year. You can still do it. Stay focused. So those are the 5 foods to avoid to get to your weight loss goals. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to my channel and also like and comment. Let me know what type of videos you'll like up next. This channel is all about elevating to become your healthiest version, mentally, spiritually, and physically, and with nutrition. Until next time, thank you for tuning in. Peace.